Good morning, YouTube family. This is your friend Isaac Blanco. This is
Barbara Blanco.
and
Mia Blanco.
we're the Blanco family, and today we're going to bring you a special audio, which is called
The air.
the Ant Philosophy, right? So we're on our way to school right now, and I want you guys to listen to this. We want to share this with you, right? Remember, if you start them young, the possibilities are awesome. Endless. Nice. Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. All right, let's see if we can put it together. Let's see, where is it? Right here. All right, you guys ready for the Ant Philosophy?
Yes.
All right, this is the Ant Philosophy by Mr. Jim Rohn, right? Where are you, Mike? Should start right now. It's not starting. What about this one? What about this one? Hold on 1 second real quick. Let's take it out. Okay, the ant philosophy talks about how ants never give up. And they're always in a hurry thing, you know what I mean? So, but I want you guys to listen to the ant philosophy with Mr. Jim Rohn. Where are you? Right there. Oh, come on, wherever you are. He doesn't start. Come on. Start.
Hi.
It's not starting. Oh, you know why? Because, hold on, we'll be back.
We're back. Okay, I think we're back. Yeah, we're back. All right, the ant philosophy. There we go.
For kids, we teach the ant philosophy.
The ant philosophy.
The ant philosophy. So for the kids that aren't here, take this home. For the kids that aren't here, the ant philosophy. And here's the little short list on the ant philosophy. Number 1, ants never quit.
Ants never quit.
If an ant is headed somewhere and you stop him, he'll start looking for another way. How long will he look? Till he finds it or till he dies. One way or the other, he'll find it. Okay. So that's a good philosophy. Just never quit.
Never quit.
Like an ant.
Like an ant.
Here's the next part of the ant philosophy. Ants think winter all summer.
Woo. What does that mean?
You got to think negative when it's positive. And not be disillusioned. That's why ants always seem to be in a hurry. Why are they in a hurry? Because they're thinking winter, hurry. Keep going, go. So you must think negative when it's positive. You must think winter when it's summer. Here's some of the best advice. Comes from classic tradition. A great story says, don't build your house on the sand in the summer. Why be given that advice? Because it's easy to get faked out in the summer. Right? Blue sky, fleecy clouds, nice weather. So you build your house on the sand. You say, no, you must not be faked out when it's nice. You must think storm in the summer and not get faked out. And if you think storm, now you'll look for a rock on which to build your house. Now you're going to be safe. So you can't think nice when it's nice. You got to think storm when it's nice. And if you haven't been through one of those storms, you got to find somebody and say, have you been through one of those storms? Scare me to death, if you will, please, so I will not be faked out here, and I will keep searching, right? Not to quickly build on the sand because it's nice, but to build on a rock because it's not always going to be like this. The seasons are going to come and change. And if you're not educated to that degree, now you suffer a great loss. So the ant thinks winter in the summer.
The ant thinks.
Now here's the next philosophy. I'm sure the ant thinks summer in the winter. The time to think positive is when it's negative. Why? Because the negative won't last long. How long is the winter? Isn't that long? So the ant thinks summer in the winter. This won't last long. We'll soon be out of here. Just hang on. It's not going to take that long. How long is the night? It's only a few hours. Come on. There's never been a double night.
Never.
Couldn't you make it a few more hours? And the story says, yes, the night just can't last for. Sometimes it seems like it's going to last forever. And when you have insomnia, right, it seems like the night will never pass. But I'm telling you, sure enough, it will pass. So learn to think day when it's night. And then you must learn to think night when it's day. An old prophet said, work while it's day, work while it's day, because the night's coming. Right? This was before Thomas Edison and the light. You got to work when it's day, because the night comes when you can't work. Of course, now we can work day and night, but back then you couldn't work when the night came, so you had to get it going, get it in before the night came. So this is a good idea now. Learn to think negative when it's positive. Learn to think storm when there is no storm. Learn to think winter in the summer. But then we must learn to think summer in the winter. We can make it through a few more hours, right? A few more days. It won't be that long. Hang in here. The spring will surely come. Okay. So the winters of life, learn to express those to other people, help them understand that as well as to try to understand it yourself. Now here's the next season, the spring. Spring is called opportunity. Not a guarantee. It's guaranteed the spring will come, but it's not a guarantee of a harvest. Here's the key. You must do something with the spring. Take advantage of the spring. Read every book you can get your hands on what to do with the springs of your life. Take advantage of the day, because the day follows the night. It's an opportunity now to turn things around. It's an opportunity to have a better one than the last one. It's an opportunity for a new beginning, a new spring, a new day, a new beginning. In business, we learn to create an artificial spring. Because in an industrialized society, right, it seems like, the seasons just don't mean that much. When you're a farmer out there, they mean everything. But when you're not, working on the line, whatever. So sometimes you got to create an artificial spring. We're going to take the next 90 days and we're really going to pour it on. Like if you're in sales, the next 90 days, I'm going to make every contact possible. You just create an artificial spring. Next 30 days, next 90 days. Right? Bargain with your family. Say, look, I know we were going to do some things the next 90 days, but if you'll postpone those for me, I'll really pay back, because I want to use this now as a springtime to go for it, go for it, go for it. So spring is the chance to take advantage of another opportunity. The day follows the night.
The day follows the night.
It is a promise. But you must take advantage, do something with it. Now, here's what you must do in the spring. It's a very short season usually. You must hurry. You wouldn't ask a farmer to go bowling in the spring. He hasn't got time. Why? The season is too short. The planting season is too short. You got to get it done fairly quickly. And life at its longest is short. The Beatles wrote, life is very short. Which is true. My father lived to be 93, but it seemed to be very short. It didn't seem that long.
93 years old.
So life is short. For John Lennon, it was extra short. For Michael Landon, life was extra short. For my mentor, died at age 49, that's extra short. But life at the longest is short. So you must learn to appreciate opportunity and take advantage of it while it's day, while it's time. Now, we call spring a window of opportunity. If you have a chance to talk to someone, the window's open.
Don't take it off yet.
It may not stay open very long, so take advantage. Don't hesitate. Meet a new friend.
Huh?
Talk to somebody while the window's open. Now, here's the season for everybody to understand, because it is so applicable to our life, and that's the season of the summer. Two things we must do in the summer: nourish our values and protect. Nourish like a mother, protect like a father. The twin challenges in the summertime help to illustrate life, that we are confronted with both good and evil. Is that the way it should be? You got to ask somebody a little higher up than me.
You're not going to get off right here.
We could get into probably a pretty great debate. Would there be good without evil? Here's the best answer I've got in our finite position at the moment. Here's the best answer. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like it takes the contrast to make a scenario, to make an adventure. Now remember, we didn't set it up, so. But here's what seems to be the setup. Opposites in conflict. That seems to be the setup for a human adventure.
All right, baby.
One contesting against the other, vying for the territory.
Love you.
Would there be light without darkness? We probably wouldn't call it light.
Bye, Mia.
What gives us the value of one is the contrast of the other.
Play.
But darkness is always trying to
study.
move in and take all the territory. But if you turn on the light,
Eat your lunch,
its
right?
energy starts to repel darkness. Darkness begins to move away. And the brighter the light, the further away the darkness must move. If you walk into a dark room and turn on the light, the darkness is what? Gone.
Yeah.
But here's the point to remember, not very far.
Dame tu mochilita.
The darkness seems to be, yes, it's gone, but it's waiting for its chance. That if light loses its energy, darkness has a chance now to move back in. Here's one of the better realistic illustrations, and that's health and illness at odds in your body. Illness trying its best to drive health into a small corner and occupy the territory. And health trying what? To push illness into a small corner. There's this contest going on. Who's going to occupy the territory? If one stays strong, the other's diminished. If the other gains in power, then the other is diminished. Key. So what you must learn to do is cooperate with the positive side of everything in your body and your life.
Are you listening?
Sometimes we sabotage our own best interest. The body needs a banana, you send it a Coca-Cola. And the body says, what is the deal here? I'm health trying to drive illness into a small corner. I ordered a banana, you send me a Coca-Cola. So the body could rightfully say what? Whose side are you on?
Can I go out?
Yeah.
Give us a break here. We need every tool we can get to keep illness at bay. Because if we get weak, I'm telling you, it moves in, takes the territory. So we're in the middle of this contest, and here's what it's called, opposites in conflict. Here's one of the bigger conflicts, liberty and tyranny. Liberty is the absence of tyranny.
What's happening, brother?
But even though tyranny is conquered, it's not very far away. The same goes on in your bloodstream.
We're listening to
Red
the
corpuscles to
ant
nourish like a mother and give life. White corpuscles to fight and kill like a father. White corpuscles say, just show me some infection, I'll kill it. If I don't kill it, what? It killed you, somebody's gonna get killed. In this contest, right? Good, evil, liberty, tyranny, right? Health, illness, winning and losing, right? There's a struggle going on.
Thank you. Likewise.
But here's the key. It's
Somebody
the only
type
way,
something
it
in the
seems,
comments.
it's the only way to create a human adventure. There doesn't seem to be any other way, currently.
We're sharing the ant philosophy.
Currently. Now, some speak of a new heaven and a new earth, and maybe the whole arrangement will be different. Could very well be, but in this current experience, it seems like to create an adventure, to create a unique human scenario, we need opposites in conflict. And that's the deal. Thank God for white corpuscles that think negative all day. Tyranny and liberty. Saddam Hussein takes over Kuwait. What should we do? Somebody says, well, Kuwait, what do we care? Well, what if next he wants Saudi Arabia? You say, well, it's a pile of sand, what do we care? Well, what if next he wants Israel?
We're from San Diego,
You say, well, little Israel, what do we
USA.
care? Well, what if next he wants the rest of the Mediterranean?
You know where's Dubai?
You say, well, yes, I guess we've got to draw a line somewhere.
in the middle.
Yes, somewhere. You've always got to draw a line somewhere
Arab.
and tell illness, hey, you can't have any more. You got to throw up the barriers. Draw a line in this
There's
thing.
peace in the Middle East.
Peace.
Our president, George Bush, was right to draw a line in the
She
sand.
said,
Put together
"We'll
the
go to
coalition.
One day
And put
we'll
together
go to
500,000
Dubai.
troops and go kick
I promise.
Saddam Hussein out of Kuwait. History demanded it.
Dubai.
Hired Chief White Corpuscle General Schwarzkopf.
Dubai. Do Dubai. Do Dubai. Do
I met the general a couple of times. He was the man to send. So, liberty and tyranny in a contest. And it's the only way to have a civilized society. Tyranny cannot be rehabilitated. Tyranny can only be restrained. So for Saddam Hussein, we put a no-fly zone on top and a no-fly zone on the bottom.
She is. Look at this.
Right, to contain, so that liberty would have a chance.
She's gonna do
The citizens of the
right
world
now.
would have a chance, that the world would have a better chance. And we've got to fight these skirmishes. We've been fighting them forever. We've got to fight them forever. Whether they're inside your own body or whether they're in politics, no matter where they are. We must play this game. We must fight this game. But here's what it creates, a great adventure. Let me give you the ultimate now. Could you win if you couldn't lose?
Do you do gymnastics?
And the answer is no, it doesn't seem like it.
Yes.
You couldn't call it winning.
Every what?
You can't win if you couldn't lose.
Every Wednesday.
So that's the deal now. Negative, positive. Would there be negative, positive without negative? No, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like this is the current setup. You know, for the foreseeable future. It looks like it's been that way as long as we can remember and as long as the history tells us. So here's what you want to do if you want the adventure. You must learn to play this game. To work with all the positive forces to defeat the negative forces as early and as soon and as much as possible. To contain the ravages of disease that want to take you early.
I'm never level 1.
You got to fight back. You can't just leave it. Somebody says, well, I got my fingers crossed. Not a good philosophy. You got to take your vitamins. You got to do the stuff. You got to do the deal. Jump on the positive side of whatever you want and see if you can't help out in this warfare, in this push-shove match. That's the key. So in the summer, here's what you must do. Nourish the plants and the garden. Nourish your values like a mother. Give life. Whatever you start now, you must nourishment and give it life. Don't neglect a new life if you started a new life. What if you said to a brand new mother, where is your baby? She says, I have no idea. You would say, no, that isn't right. If you start a new life, you must care for it. You must protect it. You must give it life, give it nourishment. Now, here's the other part. You must protect it like a father. That's why the old wise man said, we must learn to love and hate.
What was that again?
So underline that. You must learn to love and hate. And the illustration he used was, you must learn to love good and hate evil. To deal with the weeds in your garden, you got to hate weeds. You got to hate them enough to what? Kill them. You can't say, well, poor weeds. Say, no, this ain't the deal, poor weeds.
Remember, I used to drive with you.
Yeah, I remember.
Don't go soft on this stuff now. You got to hate evil. You got to hate the weeds that are out to destroy your garden and rob your children of the nourishment they deserve. So, here's the deal. Love like a mother, hate like a father. And here's the rest of it. Give life like a mother and take life like a father. You got to take the life of the weeds or they will take the life of your garden. Somebody's going to get killed. Remember? So you must be like a father. Any father would say to whatever threatens his family, take 3 more steps toward this family, you'll cease to
She
exist.
says that you look like a Barb doll.
I'm father. I kill. So send out the
She is
warning.
a Barbie doll.
Send out the signal. Both mother and father reside here. Mother nourishes and father gives protection. And yes, it's possible to love like a father and hate like a mother. Just so you get both
Mrs.
done.
Cotto and Mrs. Haynes.
In fact, nothing more dangerous than an angry mother.
Mrs. Cotto.
Especially in the animal kingdom. Mess with Mama Bear's cubs, if you're a threat to her cubs, she'll kill you. That's that female mother instinct. Kill first, talk later.
Kill first, talk later.
Okay, you got that now? This is good advice. We're going to learn in communication shortly. You got to learn to put love and hate in the same sentence. Because it's vitally important. Sometimes you must say to your children what? I love you, but I hate what's going on. They got to know what you love and what you hate. You don't hate them, but you hate what's going on.
Well,
You hate the dangers.
I'll take that as a compliment.
So, learn the good evil. Summertime.
My mom
Now, here's the greatest battle
ticket,
in the mind.
That you earn like $100 or
Here's what you must not
a
become
ticket, and then she
in the summer in your mind. A victim of
like,
yourself.
With the coin, she did this, like she scratched it.
What is that
and then
insidious
it-
voice inside your own head that says, you're
$2
too
and
short,
then
it'll never work for you,
she
you're
got
too
just
tall,
$1,
right? It's over for you,
$1.
right? It's never worked for you before. What gives you any
She
idea that
scratched
it'll
the
work
paper
for
and
you
then
now?
Said $1.
You've never been able to rise up and take charge of your life. What makes you think
And
you can do it
$2
now?
wasted.
There's going to be too many obstacles out there. You'll never overcome them all. What is that insidious
Yes, we
voice?
are on
It's the
Facebook.
same game going on inside your head that's going on in the world. Liberty and tyranny in a
Facebook.
push-shove match. And here's what you've got to do. Cooperate with the positive side of your life and let faith drive out doubt,
Not a parking.
right? Let winning drive out losing. Let positive drive out negative. But you got to get into the contest. And why get into the contest? Because that's how you create an adventure. There is no other way. It takes both.
My mom puts the.
You've got to learn to laugh, yes, but that's not what the wise men only said. You can't just learn to laugh and keep on laughing. No, that's silly. It says there's also a time to cry. You've got to learn to both laugh and cry. Then it said you must be so sophisticated as not to laugh when it's time to cry. Then it further says you must learn to laugh with those that laugh and learn to cry with those that cry. That now gives you an understanding of what life is all about. Sadness and joy, the contest,
See, we got a
the
good parking.
difference. And yet it creates the adventure.
Like we wanted to have.
What if you went to listen to the symphony orchestra and the symphony only played little happy high notes all evening, just little pleasant happy high notes? How much of that could you take? Say no, don't you want to hear the crash of the cymbals that scares you to death? Don't you want to hear the minor key of the music that shows you the tragedy as well as the triumph? And the answer is yes, play me the whole orchestra. I can handle it, because that's what life is all about.
You're gonna go play over there?
Positive, negative.
Hold on.
What if the minister only prayed happy
There's
prayers
peace
every
in the
Sunday?
Middle
How much
East.
of that
Peace
could
in
you
the
take?
Middle
Happy,
East.
happy, every Sunday,
Give me
every
five.
Sunday, happy, happy. How much could you
Count it.
take? Who's going to pray angry prayer?
See you later.
See you later.
Who's
bye.
going
you
to
for
pray
staying tuned.
frustrated prayer?
Yeah, bye.
Who's going to weep in public for the lost children?
Bye-bye.
It takes
bye to
both.
Dubai.
You got to
Bye.
weep with those that weep.
To the bye.
Dubai.
Laugh with those that
Dubai.
laugh.
Bye,
You got to have
Dubai.
this full
Bye,
understanding of the game. You got to understand the highs and the lows, the tragedy and the triumph. Most of the music of the world is